Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our roundtable discussion titled Technology, Challenges and Opportunities. This event is part of the Erasmus Plus project From EGOcentrism to ECOcentrism, a future-changing path, which aims to inspire responsible, sustainable, and student-centered learning by connecting young people and educators across Europe. As a part of this mobility activity, we are proud to host students and teachers from Institut Alexandre de Riquer in Calaf, Spain, here in Eugen Kvaternika Primary School in Velika Gorica, Croatia. Today, we have got with us 4 dedicated educators who will share their perspectives and experiences on how technology is shaping teaching and learning. From Croatia, you've got Mato, Matijević, and we've got Mrs. Nataša Čurić here, and from Catalunya, Mrs. Natàlia Muñoz Domínguez, right? And we've also got Mrs. Eva Torres Vilajoana. So our discussion will explore how different technologies, including emerging ones like artificial intelligence, influence our classrooms, the opportunities they offer, and the challenges we face as educators in diverse subject areas. Let's begin by getting to know a little bit about your teaching context and how you currently use technologies in your classroom. Let's start with some context and experiences. The first question for the both of you is, can each of you briefly introduce yourselves and tell us how you use technology in your teaching?
Okay, my name is Eva Torres. I'm the Erasmus coordinator for my school and also English teacher in high school. Well, it's a interesting question because in our school we use technology differently. It depends on the teacher. Sometimes a teacher is very fond of this kind of resources and tools, and some of the teachers aren't so much. Mm-hmm. So we haven't discussed generally with teacher staff how we would use that. It's up to each teacher, but it depends on how comfortable each teacher feels with these new tools.
It makes sense, kind of similar situation with us, but we'll get to this. How about you, Natàlia?
I'm a math teacher, and in my teaching practice, I incorporate drawing and coloring applications. And for me, I like the digital technologies, and I always learn about this and try to incorporate in class.
I see. And how about, since we've kind of talked about specific subject areas, does your subject area influence your choice of tools and digital tools? I mean, it probably does, but what we're interested in are the ways they kind of influence it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, in English, these kind of tools help a lot because they promote the oral skills, listening skills, and we have plenty of tools that could modernize a little bit our methodology in English, right? The problem is that maybe we don't have that much time to update and to see, try all the tools, AI tools, for example, out, so that we can choose or we can figure out which are the most suitable for each activity. So that means that we also make a lot of mistakes in terms of maybe we needed more time for that activity with this AI tool, and we don't succeed with our goals because we don't have this time to train and to learn from our mistakes. So we have to improvise a lot.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? We always tell our students to not be afraid of making mistakes. So kind of leading by example is kind of a thing that also, and the thing is about English especially, and I think computer science as well, they are kind of spearheading the use of digital tools, in my own opinion. Nataša, go ahead.
I have an example how I used use technology, and also I wasn't afraid of the students' mistakes. I gave one task to my sixth graders to make, as a class manager, not in the region, to make a movie about violence, about their problems. They could choose a problem. I didn't show them how to make a video. I didn't interfere. I only was there to see that they are safe, and that's all. And they made short films, 2 to 4, 5, 6 minutes. And then when I had a meeting with parents, I showed them those films, and parents were shocked, and they couldn't believe that their children are open to that kind of violence. They showed the images of, I don't know, suicide, the great violence, and that is not only their imagination, it's their experience. So, and they really used technology by themselves, using mobile phone applications for editing videos. They made some commercials in videos, so it was really a nice example how not to interfere and let them make their own, let's say, mistakes, but those were good mistakes and good experience, also for the parents.
Trial and error, right? How about mathematics? Is there any area in maths that we can use digital tools in a more meaningful way?
Yes, for me, maths, I teach traditional methods, and after I teach the digital programs who made the same, but they need to understand previously the theory or understand the digital, because he need to improve and learning the critical thinking if the machine is making good or bad.
Ah, I see. Yeah. So the tool is useful, but the human touch is the important thing. Right. Okay. How about specific digital tools? Are there any specific tools or practices that significantly changed your teaching experience, or you think that they might in the near future significantly change your teaching experience? Are there any specific ones? I mean, we all know about the prevalent ones, such as some image generators or AI chatbots. Right? So are those the main focus, or is there anything that might be?
Yeah, well, we're not that far that we are using chatbot. We are starting to use them now. Where we have noticed that they're using a lot the AI tools is in writing tasks. We have to change and readjust our methodology when, for example, we assign a writing activity and we cannot assign it to do it at home. They have to do it in class at the school, because otherwise they ask ChatGPT to do it for them. We are starting to understand that we will have to work collaboratively with ChatGPT because it's supposed to help us, but we are not that far in learning how exactly ChatGPT is going to help. In our country, there are some think tanks already thinking and making materials and designing guidelines for how to use ChatGPT for writing tasks in English or in other language, in language class. And we are trying to benefit from that. Okay, but for the moment we are writing in class. We use, for example, translators in class more than ever before, because they improve their sentences and their vocabulary especially. They correct their grammar errors. And we start to use ChatGPT in class to design, for example, the structure of a writing, or to design even assignments, bigger assignments, projects. And then we're trying to learn to teach them how to pick some of the ideas from the machine, but not everything, because they have to decide if they want to take that turn or another one.
I think there should be a uniform approach from the society, because it's okay for us to use ChatGPT because we have developed our skills. And we can decide, oh, this is good, I can use that, this is not, we can benefit from that. But children, students, they don't have developed skills.
Critical thinking as well.
Critical thinking, they don't have the information. So that is the danger that their understanding and everything will decline over time, because they will depend on ChatGPT, and they can't see what is good for them and what is not good for them, or should be better.
Yeah, so we kind of concluded that there are some benefits as well as risks. So the main, shall we say, problem is to help students stay engaged and not just consume content. So we have to make sure that they are an active contributor in this AI-human relationship. So how would you help your students stay engaged and not just be passive?
Well, what we have found is that students like to show that they can do things, that they have abilities. So since we noticed that in our school we have different projects to foment the visibility of the students. That means each student can show what they have done. So we try to design many activities with a lot of possibilities, these so-called choice boards, to promote this engagement, and to promote that after this activity they can show something that they have created. Creative means creativity. So creativity has to be the main thread of all these projects that we are designing, and each student has to find their own way and their own place, their own spot in class. And this is how we try to do it, because our students are used to the kind of activities and assignments where they have to fill in. So they are taught to fill in the gaps from primary school especially, and in the early years of the secondary state. And we want to change this a little bit, because otherwise only the most gifted students can adapt quickly to these new tools. And students who might need more time, then they stay maybe behind.
I see.
I have in my classes always two students that don't bring mobile phone, or they don't use it. So I am always questioning myself: should I promote this task, or just let them have their own choice not to use technology? So I'm always questioning myself, should I ask of them? So I always make some alternative. Okay, you can write it, you can draw
for us,
for now, but maybe in the future it will be I will have to ask of them to learn some new applications or using that, because it will be useful for their job later. School.
So how about since you arrived here a few days ago and kind of already got to grips with how things work around here, are there any noticeable differences in how technology is used in Croatian schools versus your school?
We're doing more or less the same. And I think in our school, mobile phones are not allowed. It's only the teacher who asks the students to bring it when it's suitable for the activity.
It's the same with
yes. And I think you deal with the same kind of difficulties we have when we bring them at school, because for them it's difficult to focus. Or, for example, they use their tablets or their laptops.
Yeah.
And then we have to be careful that they don't get distracted with other things.
Everything has to be in balance.
Yeah.
But as far as connectivity has gone, it's the technology has helped with connecting with other people. So how about helping you connect your students with peers from other cultures or regions? Are there some activities or maybe workshops that help you kind of connect with other cultures?
Well, the Erasmus Plus projects are most suitable for that. But the Erasmus Plus project, I think it's a more vivential experience, because we move to another country, we go there, we organize this trip. We sometimes organize previous activities, pre-mobility activities, but we always run out of time. I mean, we don't have much time there. We have worked sometimes with this platform called Twinning.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is also very convenient. But we don't have much time for those things. It takes time to plan them and then to find to arrange a date and then see that the Wi-Fi is working, and there's all these little...
There are a lot of problems. I do have an example. I have a colleague in Nova Gradiška, and we had a school project for the year. She's my friend and we wanted to work together. So we have found one class that matches at the same time, and we had a theme was their names, students' name. For the first, it was online via Teams. So they introduced their school and the town. We have introduced our school and town, and then every 2 weeks we had one meeting that students would explain the history behind their name, and maybe there was some kind of saint about his life or her life, and then they would make a quiz, so they would play together the same quiz. It was a good blending experience, and they became friends via Instagram, and that's a really good example, and it didn't took us a lot of time for preparing. It was a really students project. We just gave them time and secured the connection.
Yeah, you really need to weigh in the amount of effort you put in and the product you receive from it. So I
was going to say that we have the same problem, because sometimes you do a very simple activity through your e-twinning, for example, but teacher has to be ready to know how to deal with it, and to solve maybe technical problems. And it's always depending on the teacher, the specific teacher skills. And this is too much sometimes, so the tendency is that they drop this kind of activities and they will go to another thing more practical.
Personally, there are times when I use a lot of technology. I'm really inspired with that, and there are times I don't use it for months maybe because I want to try something new. I don't give them just technology. Write me something. Later, I really have something to read. It takes me time, but I want them to experience and technology and classical.
Because it has its risks. This kind, if the students do all the time this kind of activities, they get tired of it. What they like, in my experience, and maybe you will agree, is acting things out, scenes, talking, dressing up, pretending they are role playing someone else.
That is really,
and this has nothing to do with technology itself. And then we cannot forget that we have to give them some spaces to do that too.
Because I'm thinking, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, and these are tasks that I choose and give to them, how they feel, thinking about that. So we have to change environments and our methods.
We cannot lose perspective of these feelings of overwhelming.
Always work upon the feedback as well. Feedback is very important in my opinion. Because how would you know how they feel if you don't give them the opportunity to express it?
Exactly.
So during our talk, up until now, we have concluded that there are some challenges, not just some, but there are quite a few challenges. So my next question towards you is, what challenges do you face when introducing new technology? For example, access training, digital well-being, student behavior in general, and so on.
For me, it's important that when a student is writing a paper, that they don't copy exactly of Google, of the ChatGPT. The teachers need the know if they understand what is learning, and there are a technology in the Google Chrome that I use to detect that they are copying or not. And when I detect that they are copying, I say this, no, you try another time and explain with your words. Because I need to know if you understand the concept or the task that I do for you.
Yeah, that's the thing. I always say, I don't need the right answer. I know the right answer. I want to know how you think this should be answered. It's more of the more important thing is their approach rather than the correct answer itself, right? So how they reproduce it, not what the answer is.
I have two examples. First example is without using technology, I gave them assignment to write an essay about 10 commandments and human rights. They had in their books they have text. They have a text that should help them with thinking, and they had 45 minutes. They could finish it at home, not a problem. So they didn't use ChatGPT, I know that, but they just wrote down everything by the book. Okay? Just rewrite the book. It was really funny because they didn't know I will ask them to read it out loud. And they started repeating the same sentence. So they really have poor writing skills with or without using technology. And that is maybe a problem with, I don't know where is that problem came from. And the other problem is that I have faced is they really like to play Kahoot, okay?
They do.
They really do. And I know that I don't ask for exams Kahoot, if you know those facts, I'm satisfied with that. I can give you a grade. So that for me is okay. But they are starting to get bored with that.
Yeah.
Also, they say, "Oh, I can't use it now. I don't have internet or something," and then they go on Snapchat and everything. So that is also starting to. They start to lose interest in that.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know how will that turn out.
Well, there's two options. Either we dial it down a bit and try to find alternative, regular kind of old school methods, or we just jump onto the next thing, next new thing, next flashy thing. So there's a choice here. So do we revert back, or do we jump onto the next thing? And it's always, it takes time and takes effort to find new approaches. And when you test it, you should be aware that not every time everything works. So finding so we go back to the trial and error method that we spoke about at the beginning. So,
I was talking the other day about our school reform. It was called School for Life, and it had a goal to introduce a lot more technology in our school systems. So teachers, some of them liked it, but some of them didn't want to do it. But we had to do it because it was mandatory for all of us. And I have to say there was some missed goals in that, okay, but the good thing was we really got to introduce a lot of new application technology, how that works. So we are using those knowledges today as teachers. That was the positive thing from that reform. It didn't fully incorporate in our school systems, but there are some positive things today.
like there always is, whenever trying new things, there are some things that work and there are some things that just don't, and you just pick the good ones and leave the rest behind, right?
I was going to add something about this. It's I think in our case what we experience is that as AI is helping teachers with their work, with their tools, with their work, I mean, when planning and preparing the materials, the teaching, learning teaching materials. And we should observe how we do it, how we use AI, and try to teach the same to students. I mean, for example, in my case, when I would like to tackle an issue, an important issue with the students' subject, I don't know, maybe mental health. Right? Let's say nowadays it's very timely and it's important that we talk about that. I prepare a presentation, then some tasks. I prepare some of the aspects of mental health for students to reflect. And I ask AI tools to help me to prepare these materials. And then I cut the things I don't like, maybe I readjust, maybe I try to be, with my intelligence, more precise on different points of these materials that I create. And then I use that with the help, and it saves a lot of time for me. I can get nice pictures that gather many ideas together on the same picture, so it helps me a lot. And then I use this image in class. So the idea is that when I ask students to do some assignment, which implies creativity, I try to make them do the same as I did, to take the same path. And then I try to make them notice that they have to reflect on the final product they got and say, okay, are you satisfied with that? Is this what you have going to fulfill your goal when we started this activity? So it's like every time that they have to do something, we have to incorporate the idea of taking decisions with all the tools they have. And this is how we reflected about this, and then asked them, okay, what did you learn about this subject, mental health, now? And can you explain the most, or what is for you the most outstanding thing about this subject, or the most significant thing? And if they can answer these questions, they'll learn something. Thanks to these tools.
Kind of, it works more like a fresh perspective on things rather than something we should follow.
Some guidelines only following, and then they don't know why they have been doing this.
Yeah. Rather than letting the tool do the work for us, we use it for what it is, a tool.
But also, it can be assistant, and it can be used for brainstorming. Because sometimes you can't work in a team, or the subject is really specific for you and your interest, and you can use ChatGPT for brainstorming. I use it really a lot of times, because when I have some idea and we work on it together. Oh, please show me this example. Oh, I don't like that, and I use what I really like, and I have some really great ideas. But I have to say they are not completely mine, because if they were only mine, it would take for me a lot of time that I don't have. But like this, I can, in one night I can write something really new and innovative.
Okay, so how about the future? Is there any innovations you would like to try or see in our schools in the next few years? So anything new that could be introduced and that could work?
Technology.
As far as technology goes. Or approach. A new approach.
What I'm afraid of using really is those videos that are AI generated, because that is really dangerous. I think it could be really dangerous, and I don't think that laws are following how fast AI is developing, and that is one danger that I'm afraid in the future. Because now you can, Sora is an AI tool that can generate videos. Yes, and in sometimes maybe a year or two, we won't be able to recognize what is human made and what is AI. I believe there will be some problems, but we can't see. We can't imagine what kind of problems there will be. And I believe that the laws of our countries and European Union are not still aware of what is happening, because it's happening fast and it's good and useful, but everything that is good and useful always has a bad side that will show itself in a few years.
How about an innovation that is quite the opposite of technological development? We can see how certain Nordic schools operate. They kind of move away from everything digital and they go back to the roots. How about those approaches? Would you ever consider moving away from technology and working towards getting the human back to its natural state?
For me, it's important to make the two ways and explain which is better in each case. And it's important that we teach ethical use in each one. Try only one.
Yes.
We have a equilibrium with both in each time.
everything should be balanced.
Well, we do have some problems with the ethics today, because what is useful is good.
That's the
Whatever works.
very important.
But that is an ethical problem, because not everything that is useful is not good, and there are all very much of private interests.
Exactly.
Money is over everything, so ethics is under great question. What is really ethical today in society? So we have to be very careful.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that with students always try to find the shortest way.
It's human nature.
It's human nature. I mean, and this is capitalism. Capitalism means take or get the maximum profit or benefit with a fewer effort. And so it cannot go against our nature. And the thing that scares me a little bit is that it's like we don't have much time. We don't have time to catch up with all this frenetic development, technology development. And we know that there are some laws, and we know maybe that for ChatGPT, I think is that you cannot be under 14 to use it or something like that. Or we know that some countries are now banning the use of mobile phone before 16. We know that some northern countries are going back to the old days, using paper, not tablets or computers in school. But it's all something that it goes against our nature at the end. So it's difficult. The thing is how to teach students quick enough that they have to make their own choices all day long. And for example, now in our Erasmus activity this morning and during this week, our students can use the mobile phone. It's also a very nice practice for them, because they have to use the whole day long when to take out their mobile phone from their bags and when not to do it. And it's a job for us to remind them, okay, you have to choose again. This is a good moment now that we are having lunch, we are eating with our hosts here. Is it a good choice? I'm coming to remind you to have your mobile phone here, and that you are more attentive to your mobile phone than to your peers here.
Asking them the question.
Asking them the question and letting them choose. But it's our task to remind them once and more again and again, all the time.
Well, best case scenario for using technology is that it will give us enough time and resources to work on boring stuff, and we will have enough time to do art, music, and socializing, because that is why we are working. We are working to have that. So if technology makes us more time for that, that will be the best case scenario, and it will all be worth it.
I think that's the key point. What you just said is because the main, the final meaningful goal for them at that age is socialize and learning how to show empathy and to help each other. Because this is very fulfilling, this is very rewarding, and they want to get this feeling back already. So we have to go back to how do they feel when they do that? How can I help you to feel better with this activity, with this? It's always a matter of how the students feel at that age.
Going back to your statement, I remember I saw a quote online that said, "I want my robot to do my cooking and cleaning so I can do arts, not my robot to do my arts so I can only do cooking and cleaning."
Oh,
That's why I said we should use it to kind of help us with the menial part of work and kind of really be creative thinking and expressing our feelings and learning about other people's feelings and their ways of thinking other than the other way.
I'm sorry, I tell to Eva in Catalan.
Okay.
She translates in English. Que l'ètica també va evolucionant a mesura que va evolucionant en les tecnologies i perquè es van fent estudis científics de què és el que va millorant i què va empitjorant.
Yeah, she's saying that ethics itself changes as long as alongside with technology. So ethics take different turns, or ethics standards have to change. So maybe we have to think about that too. Technology changes, ethics also have to change.
And we, the teachers, are learning all the time about all of this and introduce in classroom and in our students.
Yeah, certainly, it's an ever-evolving area, right? So to wrap up our conversation, I would like to thank you for your thoughtful contributions, and we should also say that it's clear while technology brings challenges, it does, it is also an opening to creativity, inclusion and in general transformation in the classroom. Our Erasmus Plus journey from egocentrism to ecocentrism is not just about ecological awareness, it's also about building a more connected, empathetic and forward-thinking educational community. So before we close, we would like to ask each of you to share kind of one sentence of advice for teachers who may feel hesitant or overwhelmed by the fast pace of technological change.
Well, I would like to say that the most important thing is to take your time and take your own pace in everything, in life, in family, in relationships, so also in teaching. You are a professional, you can do it, you can make your decisions and do your best. That is the most important.
And I would add that it has to, you have to have the will of doing this, and you have to take it as it is. It's a help. It's something that has to be a help. And if you feel satisfied using one of these tools, it means it works. And if you like the way the results look, then you feel honest because you're thinking you're doing the right thing. And it's nice to improve and to get better each time. So let's do it because these tools are here to help us.
Yes, well, thank you again for your time, for your passion and your insights. And let's continue learning from each other across countries, disciplines, and also digital spaces.